What's going on, Collider Games fans? I'm Caboose, and today what I got for you guys here is my review of the Silver Lining DLC for Spider-Man PS4. This is the final DLC for all of the City That Never Sleeps expansion pack for the game, and of course, it is to conclude and wrap up a bunch of storylines and basically a send-off for Spider-Man PS4. Now, the Silver Lining DLC takes place exactly where we left off with Turf Wars. Hammerhead is brought back to life, and he continues to build his empire. He's now part man, part machine, as he's fused himself with a cybernetic exoskeleton stolen from Sable Tech. Silver Sable herself returns to New York, and she's not too happy about people running around and wreaking havoc with her equipment. Her role in the story is actually pretty well written, and the chemistry between her and Spider-Man is fantastic. It makes for some of the funniest moments in all of Spider-Man PS4, as these two characters are essentially polar opposites of each other. The story overall really diverts, though, from tone, and it departs from what we got in the tone of the Heist and the Turf Wars DLC. It's filled with plenty of comedic moments, and it's extremely fast-paced. It's not to say that the previous two expansions didn't feature any comedy or action, but this time around there is a huge focus on those two elements. And because of this, I feel we missed out on some potential character work that we could have had added in instead. It also is really weird to see the direction that they've taken with Hammerhead. There's no explanation as to how he exactly ended up in the position that he's in, being part man, part machine in this DLC, and I would have much preferred him to just be the normal mob boss type character that he is in the comic books. Considering he's essentially the main antagonist of this entire City That Never Sleeps expansion pack, I would have hoped for a little more character motivation for him like we did for some of the base villains in Spider-Man PS4. It just feels like he is a villain for the sake of being a villain. You know, he just wants to wreak havoc, and that's all. To be honest, that's really not entirely a bad thing, and I don't really mind a villain being there just to create chaos, but the fact that his design is really weird and there just isn't much story with his character made him feel like a bit of a weaker villain compared to what we got, especially with Mr. Negative and of course Doc Ock in the base story of Spider-Man PS4. I don't hate the story of Silver Lining, not by a long shot, and the character interactions between Spider-Man and Silver Sable are so much fun. I just wish we got a little more meat in the bones here. But where this DLC does succeed, though, is in its action, and it's genuinely what made me love this expansion. There are extremely fun missions to play through, and it truly lets you showcase Spider-Man's ability. It felt like I was jumping right back into the climax of Spider-Man PS4's main story. I still did find it frustrating at times, and the various different enemy types made it feel slightly crippling to make any small mistake in combat, but I will give credit to Insomniac for providing a good challenge here rather than just making it feel like a walk in the park. The new random crimes are also a good bit of fun, and it made me wish that they wouldn't just stop appearing after you completed all the random crimes in each district. And there are some great collectibles that tell a very intriguing story that hardcore Spidey fans will be extremely excited for. And then, well, Screwball's back. There's a great suit selection here this time around too. I'm sure though that plenty of people out there are going to be upset with some of the choices that were made with the suits this time around. But to be honest, for me, I actually enjoy the selection, and I really love the Spider-Verse suit that was added. There's some great attention to detail on all three suits, so I really have no complaints there. In terms of the length of the expansion, it's just about the same length as all three. It's going to run you about 3 to 4 hours, although for me, it took a little bit longer. I don't know if that's just because I'm not as good at the game or something, but it was pretty challenging, and I died quite a bit. What I can praise this DLC the most for is the fact that out of all three expansions, this one for me has the most replay value. A lot of the missions here I would love to replay and go through again, and a lot of them I actually just want to replay because they can make for some really cool moments for photo mode. So I'm definitely going to be playing through Silver Lining again, and I honestly didn't get this urge with the other two expansions like I am with Silver Lining. And hey, all in all, this DLC wraps up the story of Spider-Man PS4 fairly well. Some loose ends were tied up neatly, while others were rushed to a conclusion, but great mission design and phenomenal performances from Yuri Lowenthal as Spidey and Nicole Elise as Silver Sable make for a solid ending to Spider-Man PS4's post-launch content. I'm going to give Silver Lining an 8 out of 10. But now we kick it to you guys. Let us know your thoughts on this DLC in the comment section below. Did you like the Silver Lining DLC? And did you like just the entire The City That Never Sleeps expansion pack for Spider-Man PS4? We want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you enjoyed this review, a positive rating on the video would be appreciated. And then you can subscribe to the Collider Games channel for more gaming coverage. I've been Caboose, and I'll see you guys later.